Yesterday you're asked to do page 342, numbers 4, 7, and 8. I know that's a little bit different than was on the green page, but I'll go through 4 and 7 with you today. When we're using the distributive property, it means we have to take the number on the outside and distribute it to each of the numbers on the inside. So 7 times 3 gives us 21, excellent. 7 times 8, 56. Then we add those two together because they are like terms. 21 is like 56. We can add them together and we get an answer of 77. When we take them apart, we go 7 times 3, we get 21. 7 times 8, we get 56, which gives us an answer of 77 again. Here we're going to distribute. 5 times 7 gives us 35, excellent. We bring down the subtract one. 5 times 2 is 10. When we subtract, we get an answer of 25, excellent. Then we go over to this side where we go 5 times 7 is 35. They changed it up just a bit here. They brought down the plus sign, and then they went 5 times -2. So they inserted an extra plus sign in here, but they'll have the same answer. 5 times -2 gives us -10. 35, if you start on the number line at 35, then move -10, you will end up also at 25. Next one, -2 times 9 gives us -18. -2 times -4 gives us a +8. -8 and 8 gives, -18 and 8 gives us -10. -2 times 9 gives us -18. -2 times -4 gives us 8. When we add them together, we end up with 10. So what do you notice on each of these equations? You get the same answer either way. So the distributive property gives you the same answer as when you write them out this way. You need to use whichever method works easiest for you. If you understand taking this and simply drawing the arrows to each one, please use that way. If this makes more sense, then please write it out this way. Use the one that's best for you. There we go. Now it says to expand. So we're going to take the 2 and we're going to apply it to the x. 2 times x gives us, perfect, 2 times 10 gives us 20. We can't add these guys because we have apples and we have oranges. And we can't add the 2. Todd, could you close the door for us, please? Thank you. So we have to leave it as 2x plus 10. The next one, 5 times a gives us, thank you, 5a, excellent, plus 5 times 1, 5. Move on to this one, 10 times f, 10f, 10 times 2, 20. Way to go. Okay, these guys are working the same way, they just put the variable at the end. We don't have any negative ones in here, do we? Okay, I'm going to ask you to do a couple of extra ones here. New page, let's try this guy. Does it? Okay, thank you. -3x minus 2. When we have a negative sign there, we consider there's a 1 in front. So -3 times -1 gives us, -3 times 1 gives us -3x. -3 times -2 gives us +6, okay? So we have to take that subtract sign, make it into a negative, and apply it to the other two. So -3 times x will give us -3x. If we have one that reads like this, we're going to take the -2 and apply it to the other one. So -2 times 3y gives us -6y. So we have to include the whole term when we multiply by the -2. -2 times a +4 gives us -8. Way to go. Okay. Now the one that I guess I didn't explain yesterday, which gave quite a few people trouble, 7. What can I do? K minus 2 plus 3. Now we're going to distribute it to all 3 of them. So we've got the 7 has to be distributed to the k, to the 2, and to the 3. 7 times k gives us, excellent. 7 times -2 gives us, good. And 7 times positive 3 or plus 3 gives us 21. So now we have apples, we have oranges, and we have some more oranges. So what can we do with the oranges? Group them as well, okay? So 7k, what's 21 minus 14? Subtract. 21 minus 14 leaves us with 7. Okay, so we have to be careful here because we do have two terms that we can add and subtract. So when it's a 3-term one like this, we have to watch. So one more example, minus 2, 4 minus 3L plus 3. So let's distribute. Negative 2 times 4 gives us negative 8. Negative 2 times negative 3L gives us positive 6L. And negative 2 times positive 3 gives us negative 6. So we've got some oranges, we've got some apples, we've got some more oranges. So what are we going to end up with for an answer here? We bring down the first one, 6L. What's negative 8 and negative 6 give us? Negative 14, okay? So we've grouped our like terms and been able to, in this case, add them because they both have the same symbol, okay? So that's what I didn't go through yesterday, Bryce, because of this sign in the front here. So we're multiplying by negative 2. Okay, so negative 2 times positive 4. Ignore the signs. 2 times 4 is 8. Unlike signs always give you a negative, so that's why that's negative 8. You're starting at negative 8 on the number line, and you're going to move negative 6. Where do you end up? Negative 14. Okay, thanks, Bryce. All right, so hopefully that helps out with yesterday's work. Today, we're going to put everything together and see how we make out here. So, for instance, we have 14 equals. This is where you need to copy this down, please. So, please copy this down. We've got 14 equals 3, open bracket, x plus 4, close bracket. So please copy that down. It'll make it easier when you're working on these afterwards. The first thing we need to do is distribute. So we have to distribute to the x and to the 4. So we bring down the 14 equals. What's 3 times x? 3x. What's 3 times 4? 12. Okay? Now we're ready to solve this guy. I'm going to rewrite it and put the 3x plus 12 equals 14. I like having my variable first. So please copy those two lines down. This is what I'm going to be expecting to see in your work. Okay, so you got them both copied down. So what's my next step then? What do I need to do? Good, thanks. Okay, so I have to get rid of this plus 12. So 3x plus 12. What's the opposite of adding 12? Subtracting 12. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. We've got to keep it balanced, like that balance scale we were using before. So these two cancel out, leaving me with 3x is equal to, what is 14 minus 12? 2. Now I have to get the x all by itself. It reads 3 times x. What's the opposite of multiplication? Dividing. Whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other side. So I get these two canceling out, leaving me with x is equal to 2/3. And you can leave it as a fraction just like that. If you don't like fractions, you can divide it, and you'll end up with decimal 67. Fractions work easier when we go to do this work afterwards, okay? So try to leave it like that. Sorry, I'm probably in some people's way here. Okay, so please get those copied down. The last step on doing this is to verify then. To verify, we take our answer and plug it back into the original. So we've got 14 equals 3 times 2/3 plus 4. When we're working with fractions, it's easier to split these guys up rather than try and do the work in the fractions. So let's bring down the 14 equals 3 times 2/3 plus, I just distributed there. Now I have to distribute here, 3 times 4. We're checking to see if these work out. So 14, is that equal to 3 times 2/3? What happens to my 3's? They cancel out, leaving us with 2. Plus, what's 12, or sorry, 3 times 4? 12. So 14 and 2 plus 12 gives us 14. So everything checks out. So now I've done my equation. There's 1 mark. I've shown my work. I found my answer. And then I verified it. So there's my 4 marks for this question. So if you choose not to write down the original question, then you've got a 3 out of 4. If you do 10 questions, then you're down to 30 marks, right? 30 out of 40, 75%. If you choose not to do the verification, all of a sudden you're down to 2 out of 4, which means 50% if everything else is correct. So you've got to make sure that you're answering all 4 steps. You're showing the equation to begin with, then you're doing the work to it, then you're finding the answer, then you're verifying. Some of you are going directly from, well, some of you are going straight to this step. And you were starting here, going down. And that's why I couldn't give you full marks on your assignments, okay? I need to see the equation, then I need to see all the work. And if you don't do this part, then I can't give you this mark for it. Let's try another question. Okay, so let's try this one. -3 r minus 5 equals -27. Okay, so the first step is going to be to write down the equation. We've got it there. Next step, what do we need to do? Distribute the -3. So -3 times r gives me, excellent, -3r. -3 times -5 will give me +15. So plus 15 equals -27. Now we're ready to solve. What's my first step in getting the isolating the variable? Get rid of the plus 15. What's the opposite of adding 15? Subtract 15. Whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other side. These two 15s cancel out, leaving me with -3r equals, I'm at -27 on the number line, and I'm going to move another 15. Where do I end up? -42. Very good. Okay, so 2 negatives, we have to add them together. We keep it negative. Now to isolate the r, I need to divide this side by -3 and divide this side by -3. Some of you are forgetting the negative signs when you divide. These two cancel out, leaving me with r equals, how many times will -3 go into -42? 14 times? Thank you. Okay, so we've written the equation. We've done all the steps in solving. We found a solution. Now we have to verify. -3, 14 minus 5, is that going to be equal to -27? Let's do the work in the brackets first this time. So -3, what's 14 minus 5? 9, thank you. Is that going to be equal to -27? What's -3 times 9? -27 equals -27. We've done all the work correctly. So please make sure you copy that down.